Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of High Top Sports. We're a little late, little technical difficulties here, but we're rocking and rolling. Good to see you. Happy to have you here. Got a jam-packed show like we always do. Going to talk about a few things. Got a lineman visiting from the transfer portal who has left Ohio State. They're in a little bit of a turmoil, if you will. Losing coaches, players. Let's not be crazy, though. It's not quite a turmoil like I would like it to be, but we're going to talk all about it. Todd Golden, his case dismissed. We'll talk about that. And, of course, I'm having technical difficulties once again. It's Monday, guys. Don't blame me, okay? It's just the name of the week. We'll go ahead and bring in our co-host, Mr. Stephen Harris. What's going on, big dog?
What's going on, boss? Go Gators, baby. Always go Gators.
Go Gators. I don't know what's going on. I didn't want to be here today. Apparently, it's going to be a no-show, if you will. Big weekend. Got a few
I look
players.
better now.
I don't know what's going on, dude.
I can hear you just fine.
Well, that's good. At least we're halfway there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, brother. All right. I didn't want to be in it today anyway, so that's all good. I don't know, man. This thing got me in shambles right now. I'll
Rookie,
tell you what.
what's going on, rookie?
What do you, hey, real quick before we dive into the show, though, I want to talk about this lineman that's committed. What are your thoughts on that new hire? We were texting a little bit about it, but Vinny, our Jersey Shore boy.
No, yeah, I like it, man. I like it. A young guy, got a ton of experience. Played at a high level of football collegiately. So you always want a coach that's been in the trenches. And then he's a smart guy. He knows the game. I know a lot of people are talking about the DC title or co-DC title that they gave him, but he did go somewhere that wanted him to be the DC. So I feel like he earned that title, and just for his future moving forward, if he ever leaves the Gators, he'll still have that under his belt, and then he gets to come in and learn from Roberts. I know people get the whole learning on the job thing, give it a bad title, but man, Roberts, he's been in the SEC. He knows it in and out. So why not gain some knowledge from a guy like that along the way?
For sure. Yeah, we were talking about that too again with him coming in as the co-DC. That sent Gator frenzy through, or Gator fans through a frenzy. I don't feel like, again, the title carries much weight, but look, it does in the sense of how it views from the outside looking in. I said it doesn't carry much weight in the sense of, I think, the impact that what a co-defensive coordinator typically has. But at the end of the day, we really don't know what it's going to entail. And hopefully it works out. And we're going to talk a little bit later on in the show. I'm going to poke at you a little bit.
One second. You did speak on something that was interesting to me about the recruiting trail, him holding that title. When you going into these kids' homes and stuff like that, you want to, and especially on the defense, you want to speak to somebody that's going to be running the scheme. So with him holding that title, he's able to go in these houses and say, yeah, this is where you fit in. And it's not like secondhand news. You know what I mean?
Sure. 100%. And that's kind of what my thought process was, is like, we've heard kind of Ron, there's been the rumor mill talking about him possibly stepping away, and maybe, there's like, look, give me another year, but we'll let him do these things. And here's, look, I mean, as much as like that sounds good to me, where people I think will push back, and I think rightfully so. And we'll talk about it, because with James Franklin making a big move and hiring the new DC, you're seeing the other teams kind of make these massive moves. And then you're looking at Florida, and look, you're looking at it right now. And we'll get into it more on Wednesday. We're working on this model that I'm really excited to roll out that shows projections. It's kind of our own, like a James Pate, but it's our own model with our own computer that looks at it and how it views Florida. And I'll give you a little tidbit. And it views Florida ranked 11th heading into next year, which is strictly the talent that's on this football team. It doesn't take into consideration Napier calling the plays, Napier running the jet sweep on 4th and 1. Like that isn't taken into consideration. It's simply the team that is being put onto the football field. And so we're gonna, the question that's going to be, I would say, thrown is, are they placing a staff around that's solidified enough and able to elevate the talent that is on the football field? We'll get into it a little bit more. Quick thing, Steve-O, a rookie lent $10 at Steve-O. I'm assuming it's a shout out to Mr. Stephen Harris there being Steve-O. So
shout out, man. Appreciate you.
Muddy says Dallas Wilson has had me scared. Glad he's in the building. Yeah, there was some fear happening because he's not enrolled yet technically, and from what my understanding is, he may not be enrolled until the summertime if he's not enrolled today because of schooling. So if he doesn't get a passing grade or gets approved by the NCAA by today, from my understanding, then he would have to wait until the summertime to enroll, which is no fun. But he's there on campus today. I confirmed by his Instagram he's arrived.
Awesome.
So,
Good to see him out there. Work it out, guys. Make it happen. Stop playing.
Yeah, I mean, it never was out of the question, but anytime these things get into the way of things, it doesn't feel good. But look, this is early enrolling. I mean, this early enrolling thing has really become, I would say, the standard over the last couple of years. So if kids aren't doing that, they're concerned. But there's about 4 or 5 guys that they're not there yet until the summer anyways, and we're not panicking about them. So, I mean, he's signed. He just hasn't enrolled yet. There's 2 different things, and people are trying to say, that because he's not there, he's not going to happen. It's
always something. It doesn't surprise me. It's always something. Hopefully, it's just something to do with some credits or Spanish class or something. Hopefully, he got that taken care of, and everything will be all right. It happened to me. Weirdly, in high school, my Spanish 1, I didn't pass Spanish 1. I got a D, but then the next year they moved me to Spanish 2, and I passed. I got a B, and so coming into college, it was like a hang up because you needed 2 years of language or 2 passing grades, something like that. So I had to go appeal and do all this other stuff and take I'm slow anyway, so I had to take a remedial course. But hey, it worked out. We won the championship, so it worked out. Shout out to UF and their academic staff.
I did. That's what I did. So let's dive into it. Larry Cox, you have made a lot of little moves which add up. Look at Larry Cox in the positive news today. Love to see that. Usually Larry's in shambles. So good to see that he's feeling pretty good about it. Let's talk about the visiting lineman from Ohio State. Visited Texas the day before he came here. He's here today. He was at Texas on Saturday, I believe. Flew in yesterday, or maybe he's at Texas yesterday. I saw the news drop that he would be visiting us. Hero Kanu, I believe is how it's pronounced. Saw that he would be visiting us. And saw him visiting Texas. And I go, oh no. I said, that never bodes well. And I was concerned if we would even be able to get him on campus with that. But we so far sounds good. But Texas involved scares me. 6'5", 293. Was a 4-star, top 118th prospect when he was, a recruit. Crystal Ball, his 2022 season, played a little bit in 11 games this past year. I think 120 snaps, something like that. 4 tackles. Nothing crazy. Nothing knocking anybody's socks off by any stretch. But we know. Go ahead.
No, definitely he got the size. You know what I mean? And we know what Chapman could do with the guy. We seen what happened to Banks overnight for some people. But the work was definitely being put in. You know what I mean? And Big Cam coming in from what it was Memphis, and coming in the junior year, balling, going out of senior year. Now he's in the Senior Bowl and all that other good stuff. So it's definitely worth the project if he wants to sign up.
Yeah, look, I mean, with the D line is something we've talked about, and then Keyshawn Silver was the only other defensive lineman we've had on campus, from my understanding, through this portal cycle. And with the loss of Cam Jackson and Big Dez, there's a hole there, I would say, of experience. But I am excited about that young talent, Jamari Lyons. Hopefully he comes back and make an impact. Obviously bringing back Banks was a massive pickup. But I mean, what are your thoughts on it? You've obviously the line being your specialty. We haven't really talked about it too much. You and I would say, I've talked about it obviously with the chat. We've talked about where the needs are: safety, quarterback. They've addressed the quarterback, whether you like it or not. It's been addressed. They go and get a veteran cornerback. So the secondary seems to be addressed. The defensive lineman was the last big one. Again, tackle, unless something really knocks your socks off, they feel comfortable with Bryce Lovett and a few other guys there. There has been some hot topics. But what is your thoughts on this defensive lineman with Micah Bora, DeAndre Robinson, Jamari Lyons, and Caleb Banks going to next year?
Yeah, I'm excited about those guys, especially their year 2 development under Chapman. Just with the work that they're putting in right now. me and Coach Chapman are pretty close, and wanting to get the standard of the D line back. You know, we got strike you. You know what I mean? These guys are putting in the work. They know what it takes. They've heard all the noise, and they got a good group of guys that support them, and they're putting in that work. So I'm not the least bit worried. Adding another piece will be great, just for depth. You know, things happen, injuries happen. God forbid. I pray that everybody has an injury-free season, spring and off-season training, and all that good stuff. But things do happen, and you got to be prepared for that. But my faith is in Coach Chapman, man. Listen, he got these guys playing at a high level, bringing the energy every day, and he's not slacking off on them. And between us, well, I'm on this live, he really wants to do it. You know what I mean? He has a passion for it, and he wants to be the guy that sets the trend here at Florida for bringing the defensive line back as that coach. So we're gonna be fine.
Look, I mean, speaking to Texas too, again with this the model that we've been able to attain, and that we're going to do a full show on Wednesday, talking about the top 25. Want to do it today, but I wanted to break it down a few more times, ask some more questions to our guy about kind of the back end of it, and so I can talk to it, more intelligently. Because what's cool about it is, again, it's a logical stance on it, right? It's taking numbers, and there's no personal bias. But Texas is the number one team, and I asked him, I said, look, well, Arch doesn't have much data outside of the upside, and he goes, well, the upside's very big on Arch, right? The model views him that way, but also the talent that they're bringing in. The reason I bring that up is because, again, if Hero were to go there, you wonder, how his impact would be. I think he was expected to probably be a pretty big asset to Ohio State, given this was going to be his time to shine. But of course, they lose their defensive coordinator to Penn State, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Imagine that played somewhat of a factor as well. So we'll see if we can keep up financially. I know that's always a factor. The fact that we've got him on campus is huge, because, again, I think that I was thinking honestly last night, hashtag shower thoughts. I was like, did we get this kid? This kid's at Texas, and I was like, nowadays I feel like when we have we've been burned this entire portal. It's like, hey, they're going to visit in 2 days, and then all of a sudden they don't show up. It's probably because a phone call happens of, they go, hey, so-and-so's offering this. What are you guys going to offer? And we're like, well, we're not even going to get close to that, and they don't bother. The fact that he's there lets me know that, I believe, hey, we would like to get to that. So can we have a conversation, though? So they at least, I would say, pushed it enough to get him on campus.
I can imagine that numbers are pretty tight everywhere right now, with everybody been in the portal so long and trying to patch things up with your own team and keep your own guys. But they should have a market value for him, and the fact that he's on campus means a lot. You come to Florida and see it, we're definitely in contention. So the fact that we got him on campus means a lot, and it's up to him to choose what's best for his future. But I like the fact that we got him on campus.
Absolutely. Rolling with Carlos, $2 says, hi, Gator Legend, hi, Shelton, love the show. Always. Thank you, Rolling with Carlos. Appreciate it. And appreciate the $2. You guys ready to talk about what happened with Pyburn? What's up with the news with Jack Pyburn? I think you might be biting the fake post on X, if that's what you're referring to.
Yeah, I saw that post come up. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, there ain't nothing going on. Oh, wait, he wants to come back? His daddy posted on X? Wait a minute. I didn't see that.
That ain't the post you talking about? I didn't see his dad post anything, but I seen on 3 tag post saying that
was a fake
dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if there's some
we
legs
follow
to
each
it,
other.
I haven't seen it.
Me and Daddy Pyburn follow each other. Give me a minute. Yeah, we're gonna get to the bottom of this ASAP. Okay, let's.
I hope it wasn't the snow.
Yeah, hey, Gates wouldn't get anywhere. Supposedly, Pyburn considering a return to UF, but I've not heard that from anyone reputable. That would be insane if that happens.
Yeah. No.
X said his dad said it.
It would be a thing, but
of course, my Twitter doesn't want to load. His last tweet was November 1st. Maybe he said it in a space.
I
don't know. No, like a Twitter space. Like a Twitter space is what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see anything. I don't see anything. Would you take him back? Careful now. What? Don't what? What do you? What, your mic break? Oh, you it's like, "You know something?" Oh, good. Oh, good. Wait, wait a minute, I can't tell now. Oh, good. Yeah, he'll take it
Yeah.
back. He'll take it back. I promise. Hell yeah, he would. Hell yeah, he would. You guys are talking about this. Saw from San Miguel. Yeah, San Miguel one was fake. That one wasn't real. Let's talk about this for just a quick little second. Obviously, we had this drama that was happening uh, throughout the last month or two with Todd Golden with the allegations that were happening, and we talked about it when it broke. And I was like, if there's any truth to
Yeah.
this, I imagine he probably wouldn't coach the following game, which was a few days, and he ended up coaching, and they came out, and his statement led me to believe they felt pretty confident that nothing was going to happen, just given the fact that he's like, we're cooperating, and today it was finally dismissed. All was clear. Now, some things have been spreading and shared on X of messages and whatnot. I'm not going to get into all that detail because here's the problem. Here's my thing with it. Everyone has an opinion about it. It kind of got a little ugly, as it normally does on
Yeah.
the Gator world. Even in our Discord, it was getting a little nasty about it because people were like, there's actually people retweeting the DMs and trying to almost get this thing brought back up. And it's like people are asking like, why are you doing this? And it got ugly. It got ugly. And again, because people feel that certain things weren't probably done properly. I don't know. I'm not gonna act like I do know. I would like to believe that this was handled in a proper way, that all the evidence was brought forward and they looked at it and said, what was being accused did not happen. Now, let's say he was messaging a woman or doing these things. I don't condone those things, but technically that isn't illegal. It's gross. If you're married and you're doing those things, I don't support those things. But again, that's where there's a line, and it's like, look, what was being the allegations or that wasn't the case. It was maybe again crappy husband and those things for sure. Again, no one. I don't. And people claim they do. I don't know. All I know is that it's being dismissed. I like it for the fact that because it was this little cloud that was over the Gator basketball team. The assistant, some allegations came out for him, so that was later on. Those have not been cleared, and I haven't heard anything since that. But I'm glad we're able to move past it, and hopefully this, nothing comes of this more. And if it does, I'll take care of it.
Yeah, like you said, morality versus law, two different things. You know what I mean? And I didn't get none of the messages. They didn't come to me or nobody I know. So, prayers for anybody that was involved. There's two sides, and people always feel slighted when things like this happen. But no one was injured physically in this, I guess. So life can go on, and the Gators basketball can keep balling. The boy balling.
Hey, we didn't talk about it on Saturday. I was feeling kind of blah, but man, they absolutely dominated Georgia basketball on Saturday. It was a blast to see them just absolutely tear up. They've got a stretch coming up though. We'll talk about it. But Money says, I believe Coach Green is innocent. Golden is still letting him coach, and again, kind of taking the same approach to how they handled his. Right, they're going to business as usual because they feel confident. I believe in the evidence at hand, but. Back to Gators basketball, man. Have you been able to watch it? I don't know how you and I have never talked too much basketball, but I don't know if you.
No. This season definitely has brought spark back to me watching Gators basketball. So it's been a joy to watch them. Them boys out there balling, man. They give me them Joe Kim Noah Day vibes. You know what I mean? And obviously Coach was a part of that. So them boys looking good, man.
No, they do look really good. And what I'm excited for, too, coming up, here's the stretch. They've got Tennessee, number 8, Tennessee, at Tennessee on this upcoming Saturday at 12. Then they've got Vanderbilt at home on Tuesday, who's got some big W's under their belt. They're ranked 24th. Then they go on the road to Auburn the following Saturday, February 8th. And then next Tuesday, they're at Mississippi State, who's ranked 14th. So 4 top 25 games in a row. Why I love this.
Sweet.
I mean, a sweep would be incredible, right? Like you split those. I mean, that's great. You go 3-1, that's great. Sweep.
Yeah,
I mean,
you don't drop too far, but we sweeping, kid.
Okay, listen, kid, you don't have to yell at me. I'm just bringing up. But it's a small little, in my opinion, you get a little taste of a run of
little tournament.
Yeah, you get a little tournament
The
run.
tournament
Now,
fun.
the biggest difference is obviously tournament play is on neutral ground, but I like the fact that the two best teams, actually 3 of them are on the road. 3 of the 4 are on
Yeah,
the road.
hostile environment. You're right. Yeah, we get a chance to get prepared for sure.
I love it. I love the fact that the SEC is competing at this kind of level right now. Again, there's going to be teams from other conferences that go and do their things at the tournament. They always do. They're always coached very, very well. But
Yeah.
this is huge. This is why, I mean, you can't. This is the important part about basketball is how can you make it through stretch like this? Is how can you go into hostile environments and get it done? You can't have a game like you had at Mizzou. You can't have a game like you had. Was it Arkansas? Yeah, that we squeaked by, or South Carolina. Excuse me.
Mhm.
Can't have those games. So I need Georgia S games from here on out.
And we should be getting our center back for real during this stretch. So that should help out.
Yeah, Micah looks like he'll be coming back hopefully sooner rather than later, which is an asset we haven't had. And just again, they've been playing at this level. You add a key piece like Micah. I mean, that's gonna be really exciting to watch. Yeah, look, this team's.
If you just come and bring energy starting out, you know what I mean, to get warmed up. They got versatile lineups, man, and that's what you need when you're going on this stretch. They have different lineups where you can kind of find ways to get guys some rest, and still get the job done. So I think we can pull it out. It'll be great.
A lot of big bodies and a lot of healthy, dominant bodies. So good stuff there. Great stuff. Boys and girls, 227 strong. Be sure to smash the like button, subscribe. Good to see you beautiful people on this beautiful Monday afternoon. Mr. Stephen
Like
Garrett.
button.
Let them know, baby. Let them know. Q Lee says team does feel like Big Al days. I love it. What's our biggest need, and can we fill them? What are you talking about, Slick, for basketball or football? Let's dive into this because this is where I'm going to push back a little bit, and we're also going to kind of connect the next two topics together because they're somewhat correlated, and I'll explain why as we move along. But Penn State makes an absolute massive move, and why I think this is important because this just shows how other teams are functioning. We saw what Ohio State did last year with the move they did, spending money in the NIL, and of course hiring Chip Kelly. That was a big move. Possibility he might be leaving, going to the NFL. That's been the word on the street over the last couple of days. But Penn State, days after Ohio State wins the national championship, they offer their DC, Ohio State's DC, they offer him basically a massive I think the biggest contract that DC's ever received. And Penn State says, hold my beer, and throws a little more cheddar and rips him away from Ryan Day's grasp in Ohio State. And now that the streets are talking, this could be the best coordinator tandem in college football, where the Ohio State offensive coordinator, coached a hell of an offense last year, had them ranked in the top 25, I believe, in overall offense. And of course, Ohio State's defense was just an absolute terror this year. Yeah. And now they're both together. And I said this. I said that Penn State, in my opinion, should be the number one team going into next year, just given the circumstances, the fact that they're bringing back Drew Aller, the fact that they kind of have built their team like Michigan and Ohio State have the last couple of years. And now you add this. Now you add, essentially the two best tandems. Massive.
And then NIL, man. All these teams from back in the days that were big teams, they gonna make their run. They had their bag stored up, man. Penn State want to be back at the top of college football at least once in this new era of college football. So I believe they're trying to get it out the way early. They're making their push, making their run. But I'm a Gator, so they can do all they want. It's ours for the taking next year. But I like the move and that tandem of them. It should attract a lot of attention. That region of football, takes some strong-willed kids to go up there and want to perform. But with the right bag and you got the right coaches, I believe from people who want to take that chance.
And look, Ohio State showed going all in paid off last year. And now Penn State sitting in a very similar situation.
Roll the dice.
Roll the dice. Yeah, look, you think about teams kind of just all around, right? Patty Mahomes, that's an all-in situation. That's worked out for the last 2, possibly 3, and I'll talk to you about that at the end. The Eagles have they've gone all in. I would say by getting someone like a Saquon Barkley, spending money on Jalen Hurts. Yeah. They've gone into the right places, and now it's paid off for them. The Dodgers, if you look at, I shared a post today. The Dodgers and Mets. The Dodgers spent $1.5 billion with a B billion this offseason. The Mets have spent 1.02 billion. The third team, I think it was the Padres, Diamondbacks.
Jeez.
Padres spent 492 million. The Dodgers spent an extra
That's
billion.
laughable. Yeah, that's crazy.
And the Dodgers won last year, right? So my point is that these teams are kind of proving that paying is starting to pay off.
But yeah, and I would say with that though, if your team is close enough, why not take your shot? The way that is being set up now to where you can acquire talent and stuff like that. If you get close, man, you take your shot. Miami tried, failed miserably, but they took they shot. But now they're probably reset for another 4 or 5 years. The object is though, you get close enough, take your shot, you gotta hit it. If not, you're gonna be reset for 2, 3, 4 years. But you get close, you got to take that shot, man. And why not? Because the outcome and the payoff is tremendous. Especially if you get into the playoffs, you get that extra game, especially if it's a home game. The revenue from that is great. So you got to take that shot if you're close. If your team's close enough, take the shot.
So let me ask you, Mr. Harris.
Don't ask me that.
Oh, you know where I'm going. You know where I'm going. You kind of walked into it a little bit.
No. See, I like what we're doing because we have a different approach. We don't have to be those teams because those teams they struck out early and they were far behind in recruiting cycles and they didn't have players that they can nurture. We got some guys that we ain't got to go all out and we can still win.
This is what they mean by we
don't
spend
have
it,
to
Mr.
blow
Harris.
the bag.
This is what they mean when they call us Disney Gators.
I'm not spending nothing. Every team got their own scenario. Now, if we were like those other teams, I'll blow it all. But the guys got to want to come there. We got great talent, great young talent.
I don't think it's talent. I think the question mark is the coaching side of things, right?
Yeah.
Why not the big splash in coaching? I think that's where
line up. Yeah, I mean, you got everything has to line up when you're doing that. We got this tenure with Billy, which is on the fringe. Make or break next year, you know what I mean? And then we could probably see where we lie there. Otherwise, we gonna ride this train all the way out, like what we're doing. Hopefully, we get the results we're looking for next year. But we're not in the same position as some of these other teams where they can make that splash higher and just bring them in, you know what I mean? And don't disturb what they got going on because they're solidified. Penn State guys weren't going nowhere, so to bring in that higher is great. It's hard right now to say we want to bring that guy to Florida and when he doesn't even know the full situation that we have going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look, I mean,
it's not that we can't make the hire or don't have the money. It's guys got to actually want to be here at the same time, and they got families and futures.
Yeah, look, I feel like I'm putting you in the hot seat here, which I have for this is fun.
You
Sarah's like, I wasn't ready for this. Look, and the reason I'm doing this is because here's why I wanted to bring it up, because look, you and I view this in the same exact light, and I think we always try to focus on like, hey, every situation is different. The reason why I'm kind of opening my eyes a little bit differently is only because the Jaguars, and we're going to talk about them here in just a minute, because Coach did a little thing today, and you saw it. It was hilarious. So it dawned on me when this was happening, because my buddies who are they're Jaguar fans, like I'm a Gator fan, like it's like they bleed it, right? And when they're mad, they're mad. And they love
for a long time.
They love Liam Cohn. Like they're bought in. Like this is our guy. We went and got our guy, as if like how when we get our guy, we're all in. Like I don't care what happens. I don't care what you tell me. I believe this process. And I'm texting my buddy. I'm a Jags fan, but not like that. Like it's not the same level of dedication. And so I can see it from like a non, I would say, just full blown invested. Yeah, and with Florida. And so I'm poking fun at him because I'm like, I'm sending these videos of the new coach. Not the duo hadn't happened yet. And I was like, this guy's a little bit of a goober, buddy. And he's like, no. I was like, he gives me gooberish vibes. Like I was like, he's like, no, he's fine, dude, he's fine. And then the video came out and I sent it to him, and my buddy sent me back. I was like, he's a goober, and he's just like, goofy goober. Like they're like, that's my goober. Like they were all in, right? Like they didn't care. And I was like, that's why some Gator fans yell at Steve and I, because we're like, that's my goofy goober. that's us.
Sign me up all day.
That's what it was. So Look, I've always knew that, but just kind of plain and like I'm still a Jags fan, right? But I have a different perspective, so I can kind of sit back and call it out.
You can never claim that type of fandom with the Gators and hang around me, Sheldon. You can never tell me I'm still a Gators fan, but I
Oh no, they get pissed. They get
it'll
pissed
never
at me.
fly.
No, they get pissed at me. They call me a bandwagoner fan. Whether I'm like, look, I'm not in, but it's kind of refreshing because again, with the Gators, I'm just like I am like it's like
At
invested in
least you
me.
get to see both sides. Yeah, you're like,
Yeah, I
okay,
get a
I
little bit
understand
healthier.
where they come from.
I get a healthy relationship with it. But again, and so that brought me to this, right? With the whole situation of like, look, like we're watching Penn State go out there and make moves, and you're saying, well, hey, they're in a place to do that. I would argue that Florida's in a place to do that. I would argue that Florida has the right key components to make a run at the playoffs. I
Yeah.
mean, there's no reason they shouldn't be a playoff or bust. And we have back to the model, which I'm really excited to go over. It gave us a projection for the season next year, and it gave us
Mhm.
score projections for each game. Now, obviously, it'll vary as the season goes on, but as of now, it gave us what it feels. And I don't want to give any takeaways, but there's a lot of games that are 1 point games, right? So basically, it
Mhm.
was a pick game. So you win those two. I think it had us at 8, 9, and 3, right?
Mhm.
Flipping those 2 or 3 games. So 9-3, 10-2, which is 100% a playoff bound football team. And again, that's where a lot of people are going to look around and say the talent is there. Are they being elevated? Are they being coached to that level come game day? And if it's not there, this is what it's going to come back to this moment right here. Just
Uh,
like the end of this season came back to Chip Kelly or Ryan Day hiring Chip Kelly. That's all I'm saying.
to answer that question, for me, X's and O's and okay, I get offense and y'all talk about coordinator and all that stuff. I get you can want to see different plays called, but I look at technique. I look at what are they doing before the snap and all that stuff. And we've been playing sound football, which is why you've gotten the results that you've gotten, where people counted us out and we won the games that people didn't think we would win. Technique wise, these guys are on par with everything. We just got to keep doing it and producing it. Had we, I don't like to keep saying if we had done this earlier in the year, but
Sure.
if the way we finished the year, we started off the year, it'd be a whole different story and people would be saying a whole different tune right now. I look at technique because I've been there, I've been in the trenches, and I'm watching technique every snap, how these guys moving. That's how you determine if they're being coached well or not. You look at the turnaround we had on the defense with the defensive backs and them being in the right positions, making the right tackles. It's hard to tackle when you're out of position. If you're not in position, the whole play is thrown off. So the guy that has the ball has all kind of moves he can make on you, which is why you have missed tackles. You don't have a lot of missed tackles when you're in the right position. And so I've seen that, and I've watched the guys make those changes. I watched the offensive line and where they're blocking that, and the pressure that they're putting on guys to move them out the way, and how the offensive line is getting to the second level, and how they're taking over blocks. That's all technique. And so, in that aspect of the game, these guys are being taught up the right way. Now it's just for us to capitalize on that and hit the gas. Every team, we're what I like what we're doing. We're building sustained success with the balance between recruiting and bringing guys in from the portal and the guys we have and how they're developing. When I look at other teams, they're taking shots, and you're not going to win like that. But you got some teams that are solid, like Notre Dame. Uh, you could just look at them and tell they're well coached. Y'all can look at football teams and see the ones that are well coached. Georgia Tech was a well coached football team, just didn't have all the recruits, but technique wise, they were sound, and
Sure.
it showed in certain games. And so I believe we're there, and so we don't have to do what other people are doing right now.
Look at that. You bounce right back. You weren't too fast. Look, I think you make a good point. So I love the way you look. I look at this the same way. And me being a Braves fan, I function in this world, and Braves is very money centric sports, right? And so the Braves have always operated at a high level financially, but not at the top and not near the bottom, just kind of right in the middle. But their farm system has always been elite. So their
Mhm.
farm system has allowed them to always be right in the mix. And they've kind of determined, okay, come this time, can we make some moves
Am I
with
gonna
the
do it or
trade?
not?
With some
Yeah.
trades to kind of make one last push. And then you could have the best team in baseball we did, and lose first round because all you got to do is make the playoffs and anything can happen. So the idea is how can we go into the playoffs with the best scenario? We've done that and we still lost. We had the best team in baseball and lost. So but they've done a good job of being good for a very long time because of how they sustained it. So I know exactly what you're referring to.
Mhm.
The Bills are somebody, I asked my buddy who's a big Bills fan. I feel like they've been good for the last, 6 years, 7 years now. And the Rams were somebody who went and spent it and got it done and won a Super Bowl and then fell off. But now they're
Yeah.
doing a great job of rebounding. And I asked him, I go, would you rather be good for the last 7 years and be right there with still possibility of you could still make it, right?
Yeah.
Or just buy one and then you eat your shit for the next 10 years. And he doesn't know what it tastes like, but he's like, I mean, that's kind of where you're at, right?
Yeah.
But you can still spend and not hit it either. The Dodgers have done that. They just have an
Yeah.
endless amount, so they can continue just to spend. But I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
That isn't sexy or appealing, and sometimes to like you're just your basic fan. Like, nope, that's a dumb thought process. But it's not. Just because you don't go and hire the sexiest defensive coordinator doesn't mean that you're not going to be successful or be able to get things done. Because I think you're spot on. I think we saw the progress, and that's what I was leaning on. Is like, you don't, when you see progress and you see the things moving in the right direction, the last thing you want to do is throw a complete wrench into it,
For sure.
So,
Yeah, no, and then like I said, time will tell. I believe we're gonna show up and show out next year with what we've been building. But this is make or break year, like realistically. So for fans, you only got one more season. We either win or y'all win anyway. so you got a chance to win either way it goes for the guys that have been on the other side of the fence about this whole thing.
yeah, absolutely. Look, this was a good conversation. Look, I'm glad I was able to push back because here's my thing. I think we get hit
for it. So I hate you for
I
it.
love you for being the reason I wanted to do it to you because you and I think the same way. And I wanted to poke at you because you carry the same gene that I have in this. And Dave, I love Dave. He has the other side, which is great. That's why I love it because he gives a different perspective. It wouldn't be fair to ask him the question. You play the game and seen it. I think it's good to see it, and I think it was a healthy dialogue. People like to say that we're sunshine pumpers and we do all these things. Like, yes, I'm optimistic. I look at things half full, but to sit here and think that I don't like to have a actual logical conversation and see the other side of it is crazy. Like, I do. I challenge you. I want to win like the rest of us. I ask the same questions. I'm looking at it too. It's like, why can't that be us? But I also then it's like, okay, it's not us. So how do we focus on what we can do?
It's sunshine because I'm seeing progress and I know what I'm looking for. Let me not see no progress, and y'all will see y'all wouldn't even like the Steve y'all see.
Before we get into our last little bit here, I have confirmation that I can confirm this. This is gonna bite me in the ass. I already can feel it. Swalder is telling me that because the Dallas Wilson news, I guess, we're waiting for the confirmation on him being finished with class and enrolled. Says he's in. So
He's in?
Again, the biggest, that's what we're hearing. I don't feel. I feel pretty good about it. Again, the biggest thing was he's been there. They were just waiting for, I think, for all the paperwork to go through to officially.
Yeah.
It's not that he wasn't signed. It was simply just being enrolled so he can start practicing and working out with the team, which I think is massive.
Yeah, my man had a night class to finish up real quick so we can get in there real fast. That's all.
He was doing Let's talk about this though. Liam Cohen, we talked to Jags a couple days ago. There was a bunch of Buck fans in the comment section, which was fun to be a part of. But my man goes viral. And not for the right reasons. This guy, I mean, I saw it and I go, he's going to get absolutely dragged for this. And he's getting dragged. And it's been fun to watch. Deservingly so. And just to go back to my point, the guys, we kept playing it, and the buddies who were like bought in, they're like, I'm going to say like this from now on. Like, that's how infectious it is. Right?
You got to get Nard Ross to come back over here and talk about that. He's an insane Jag fan. Oh my God.
Oh, that would be hilarious. All right, we're gonna play the clip if you haven't seen it yet of what we're talking, why he goes viral, and you're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna absolutely enjoy it. Here we go.
Community. Duval. Community. Duval. Community.
Duval.
I got a ring to it.
Community. Duval. Community. Duval. Community. Duval.
It's the
so
eyebrow,
cheesy, bro.
It's
oh
the
my
eyebrow,
God.
bro. Like, I'm an eyebrow guy.
bro. Yeah, his face.
That thing got it. That thing hit an extra octave. You know what I'm saying? Like that thing.
Yeah, he got some. Yeah. I didn't even know you can move your eyebrows that much.
I love it. I love it. Hopefully he leans into it.
Yeah, that was good.
But this was nuts. I saw this. I sent to my boy. He's like, I can't watch it again. I can't do it.
Yeah, they're gonna have to make the little stuffed animals with the little pull thing, and it said like how he said it. Because that's the only way it's gonna work. Yeah, Duval. Yeah.
One more time, y'all watch the eyebrows. Y'all think I'm kidding? Look, I can. This is eyebrow crime, but I can do that because I got bushy ass eyebrows. So I'm allowed to do this. Okay, I'm allowed to do this.
Community. Duval.
Yeah.
We'll see how he does.
Yeah, he had to know it. I know he had to be on the jet practicing that all the way down here, man. And he just couldn't get it right, so he had to say it in his own way.
He said it right earlier. I think he was like in the flow of his he was like in a little bit of like a rap. Like of his you know what I mean? Like he was like in his rhythm of his speech. And he was just like, you know what? I love it here. We're doing good in the city of Jacksonville. Duval.
Yeah.
You know? Like he just didn't. I don't think he was ready to say it. You know what I mean? Like
my man came with a little swag, huh?
He caught up to him. You know, he was in his rhythm, and then Duval, the speech got a little too quick for him. The teleprompter was moving too fast. That's what happened.
My man put a little sauce on it. That's all.
In the last 48 hours, Dave and I put ourselves on Vinny and Pauly D from Jersey Shore because we landed Vinny, the coach. We've been having a fun with Wednesday's gonna be a blast. I'm just telling you right now, we're gonna be decked out. We're ready to go for Jersey Shore Wednesdays. Okay, hey, cabs are here. Okay, and then I get this 24 hours later. I mean, we're cooking.
I'd be locked in watching.
We're cooking.
I know Dave having a field day.
Oh, this is Dave's. This is Dave's era. Italian stallion, baby. Look at him. Look at him. This is one reason he's here. Hey, third and forget about it. You know what I mean? Third and forget about it. Oops. I love it. I'm pumped for it. Let's talk a little bit of the Super Bowl here really quick because obviously that's happening in 2 weeks. Who you got, big guy? Give me your thoughts.
I got the Eagles, man. I got the Eagles. They just seem like a complete team. Man. They can't stop Barkley. Defense is getting after it. Yeah, but Mahomes, you can't never count him out. I just feel like it's the Eagles' time. I just got a feeling. And then they got Chauncey. So anytime Chauncey's in your secondary,
who you want to? Both.
Yeah.
For me, man,
I want to see the three-peat. I want to see I guess I want to see the three-peat, so I would want Kansas City to win, but I just feel like the Eagles is going to win.
Yeah, for me, that's where I'm at. I think I grew up in that Tom Brady era, which it was obviously like just something of to be in all of. And I remember watching the 18-0 or 18-1 season, and I was cheering for the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want them to go 18-0. Now that I'm 30 and looking back, I go, damn, I wish I was on the other side of history, and I wish I was cheering for the 18-0, and I wish it would have happened because I could have witnessed it. By the end of Brady's career, I was like, I just want to see what this guy can do because I'm like, yeah, I saw all of it. To be able to witness this, I mean, and I saw a clip, some guy was talking about, he's spot on. We're like, oh, we're tired of the Mahomes dynasty. We're tired of watching. We
just started.
100%. We compare it to the Brady thing. It was like, Brady did this for 20 years, dude. It's a little bit different. But it's because we literally went from Tom to Patty. It feels the same. It just connected.
Yeah.
It's an extension of that era, and it's very similar. You got your star tight end, great defense. Your old Andy Reid's a way more pleasurable coach. And honestly, we say Bill Belichick's a GOAT of coaches.
Listen. I almost listen. There's a strong case for Andy Reid, man.
He knocks us out. He wins this. It's over. It's no question.
Yeah. Strong case for Andy Reid, man, as far as being the GOAT coach. Definitely if he wins this one. But just his whole career, though, Just how it came into fruition at the end there for him, and then the run he went on. How you going to run at the end of your career? Like then I had to beg the man to stay. Like Mahomes, like, nah, you ain't going nowhere. We're gonna keep coaching it. It's just amazing to see. And then like the whole Brady, we was almost like LeBron, like you old, like, and you still doing it. Mahomes, he's nowhere near close to Brady age, and people gonna be tired of him for a long time because you're gonna see 5 to 7 more years of him unless he just decides to early retire.
There's a weird feeling, right? It's like because I think
I feel like one more and he'd be done. He'd be like, I played with these guys. I don't want to
Right?
try new teammates. I don't want to go through the bumps and bruises again. I loved it doing it with these guys. I'm out of here. Somebody else get some money. Put me on TV.
There's a weird feeling, like I just have it in my gut. Like it's like it just feels like he could walk away from all of it because it feels like he's been playing. You know, he hasn't. But here's the thing: Travis, I think he retires. Andy Reid could be on his way out, but he might go for another one. But here's the thing, too, though. If the a couple bumps would be good for the Chiefs. Be like Golden State. You need
They
to
need them.
and then he can ramp it back up, like Tom
Well, he didn't
did.
make the Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
I guess that's a bump.
Yeah. Okay. That's true. I mean, for his individual career, yeah, you can call it a bump. But you know what I mean? Like, actually have a down year, maybe miss a playoff or lose first round to the playoffs, like 1 or 2 years in a row, and then is able to rebuild it. That would be cool to see. I don't maybe, and he's got maybe a couple legs into. I don't know. It is gonna be interesting to see how this thing all shapes up after this year. A lot of these teams are gonna fizzle out.
At that point, like you're saying, if they have to go through that rebuild, it'll actually show what they made because he's experienced success at a high level so early and constant. So two down years, it's like I believe it'll put that fire in him to say, okay, I got to end on a high note. But man, that got to be 2 brutal down years for him to not be playing that late into the playoffs or something like that. I don't know if he'd be able to take it, but I know he wouldn't quit on 2 down years. I'll tell you that much.
Jalen Hurts too. I don't think we put him in the same category because he hasn't won, but I mean, the guy's been only three years. He's made it to a Super Bowl, lost an NFC Championship, and then lost, I think, another playoff game. And here he is again, another Super Bowl in, I think, 2 and 4 years.
Early retirable type careers, and still leave with all your limbs working, sharp mind, and have a great business future for yourselves. And you've accomplished it all. Especially Hurts from college to the NFL. If you pull it off, so
yeah, I don't know why it feels like we're running out of time with these guys when they're really all just like Joey Burrow, Josh Allen. Like these guys are all just getting started. Like they're not going like Lamar. Like they're not going.
It so this at such a high level that you don't expect it. Like we're already talking about them as the greats of the game, and they still it's crazy.
Like most of the quarterbacks that we think about, right? They kind of either they peak like I would say Big Ben won his kind of early and then kind of just stay consistent.
You got Peyton Manning, Drew Brees. You got all these guys who had the title
kind of won at
for so long. They're older guys, yeah.
Or they won at the kind of like the crescendo of their career, right? They didn't win so early on, like off the rip. And so
the greatest thing we seen anybody close to that was like Aaron Rodgers, and so that's why it was such a big deal because he come in and able to do what he's able to do after Favre
early on, and then
then there's a dead window of quarterbacks that are that great, and then you get this window of great guys that are coming out back to back to back to back. It's almost scary, or the game is just elevating that much.
You know, I was thinking of. I love hearing Tom, and I love Tom Brady. I love getting to hear him call plays, but I almost wish he didn't go into commentary.
Broadcasting.
Yeah, broadcasting. I think it's going to tarnish his aura. Like Tony Romo, and again, like you think of these guys like that. We grew up watching like Romo and Bradshaw. Like those guys were goats for our fathers and whatnot, and we just look at them as broadcasters now. And Tom could be, I mean, like Montana and Steve Young. They kind of just go off into the sunset. Like they're like in this just like a Jordan, right? Like we fantasize about him. Even Troy Aikman, great quarterback. He just is remembered more as a broadcaster than the great quarterback. Even Romo, another great example. He was, I mean, not a great. He was a good quarterback, but he's perfect. What he did was perfect. But I don't want Tom his aura to get skidded on because he's just broadcasting, and his broadcasting skills are nowhere near his football. I mean, he did a good job the other night, but I just go away.
What happens is he's giving too many flowers.
Huh?
He's too great to hand out too many flowers on TV. Like, you can't talk that good about these other quarterbacks that many times from out of your mouth. You're almost diminishing your mystique about you and your legendariness. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like if Jordan was online having to commentate games and talk about how great LeBron is, because you can't hate on him. He just scored 40 points. You got to talk about how great it was and critique the game and what he did that was great. And it almost diminishes your mystique when you do that. So
you lose the swagger because now you're like kissing his feet. It's like, no, you're supposed
to great game. Oh, thank you. You never said great game to guys before. Now they pass you and
now you want to. Oh, he was like, I'm jealous of you, Nick, because you cried and I didn't.
Can you sign my son Ball and trade jerseys with him and like, do that off camera?
Yeah, go manage the Raiders and go buy a NASCAR team like Jordan does and just look from the sky. Be an owner. Yeah. I don't know.
Just throw footballs on the beach with your kids. You look good doing that.
I love it. Romo ain't shit. Everyone hates on Romo. Look, he's a great commentator.
Romo held y'all down for a while, Dallas. He held y'all down. It could have been way worse.
7 years as a starter from Mahomes, 5 Super Bowl appearances, crazy. Like we can't even fathom. It feels fake.
Think about how many years did Brady play total?
22, 23, I think.
And we're talking about 7 years and comparing him to Brady.
That's crazy. I mean, he's rightfully so in the argument. He's rightfully so in the conversation.
Yeah, so another 7 years, do we even think about Brady?
Maybe that's why
I don't even think Mahomes play another 7 years.
Anyways.
Yeah, he saw Mahomes throw that ball sideways and was like, yeah.
So Zach
$200 million contract, yeah.
So look, we were the first to break it. We're calling that. We broke the Dallas Wilson, but Zach already just broke it as well. So it is double confirmed.
Hey, shout out to Zach. Shout out to Swoder.
Yeah, shout out to Swoder with his connection. So, yep, breaking
Zach
has completed his coursework in time to early enroll with Florida Gators. Just broke 2 minutes ago. Love it. Good stuff. We had it here first.
In the group chat. Zach kicked Swoder out to a group chat.
Oh man, yeah, get him out of there. No, good stuff. Look, that was a fun conversation, boys and girls. Let us know your thoughts on all things we discussed. As always, y'all be good. Stephen Harris coming to you live on this beautiful Monday afternoon. We'll be here rock and roll Wednesday, of course, live at 8:35 for, of course, the best day of the week. Smash the like button, subscribe. Until next time, I'm Shelton. That's Mr. Stephen, the 2006 national champion, a.k.a. Ray Charles.
Go Gators, baby.
Stevie Wonder.